the junior heavyweights did, which I wanted to do. I just couldn't. That was the style that I gravitated towards. That was it. You could have ended my career right then, and I'd have been happy. And then the next year, so you're going to throw some things at me now, but so please, like,
well, I was going to say,
the floor is yours.
Yeah, I was going to say, luckily for us, you did wrestle again, and I think it was the very next night or the night after that. It was Chono and Muto, of course, the great Muto, and Masahiro Chono defeated you and Max Moon. Is that Paul Diamond? That
was Paul Diamond.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh dear. Right.
What was it like? What was it like wrestling Muta in his like, that seems to be his prime years. Like,
well, I wrestled Muta quite a bit, and he liked wrestling me. He very much liked wrestling me because he liked the style. Those guys, the Japanese guys, had a big respect for that British European style, and so he would say he just grabbed my wrist and they'd just be go, as I'm doing all those reversals and escapes and trying to get out of stuff and just doing, and he and all those fellas did, so.
Well, Mr. Regal, we're going to go ahead and close out this episode, but I did want to ask you about another match on this first tour, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot more Japan talk in the future. And of course, you've had a lot to say, but
I'm just so our audience know. This isn't your typical podcast, and I've had such a lot happen to me. I want this to be something no different than the wrestling I used to. You've heard me, if you've listened to this, would your wrestling hold up in 30 years? I was always taught that, and it's paid off for me. Well, I've got a lot of what really went on. I'm not full of agenda. I'm not full of ego. I'm not full of nonsense. I was there and I saw it with clear eyes, right? But I want this to be a document for when young wrestlers in whatever, from now or until, if you've got to listen to me tell stories and go on, but that's what Daniel Bryan did. That's what a lot of the people who've been around or know me, there's lessons to be learned in this. Some of it good, some of it bad, and some funny stories and some interesting things, but also a perspective of how to navigate this job for as long as I have, and outright saying that I didn't have anything special about me to get in it, apart from luckily growing to 6'3".
But there's a lot about how you conducted yourself as well,
right? And that's times when I conducted myself appallingly, and we've gone through that, and that was a short period. But for the majority of it, I want you to have this, because it's getting less and less, and there's less people going to be able to do this, because they're not going to live the lives that I've had, because the job is dictated differently now because of TV and because of no territories left, and the things are different. So I just want you, whether you listen to, again, this might not come into play for a lot of people for the next 20, 30 years. One day somebody might take all the best bits of this or the bits of advice and stick it together sometime, and hopefully it will give somebody a guiding whatever to get through this.
From what I've heard, I think it's doing that for some people already, if I'm being honest with you. And if I'm being honest with you as well, this has been a great episode. We're going to talk a lot more about Japan, but I do want to